Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of American Truck Simulator. I'm driving as Scott Wynn, that is me, and our company is Win-Win Limited. See here we've earned $293,000. We're well on our way to our goal of about 400 to 450K to get our business up and off the ground. I've done 16 deliveries, 7,300 miles. And I'm a workhorse driver, level 12, and getting to that magic level 15, I believe it is, going to open up some rigs that I really have had my eye on. So our goal here is to drive on some roads we haven't been on before, but also to make the maximum amount of money we possibly can. See here, we have a run here from Pocatello to Farmington, New Mexico. See, I've been through most of these places. See if we can find something that is a little less traveled. Gallup, New Mexico to San Diego, California. That looks like a promising run right there. We'll be driving the Volvo VNL 780, 600 horsepower. I like the horses on that. And hauling a scraper, which we have hauled before. Let's take a look at this one right here. That's a Kenworth 625 horsepower truck. That would be a run from Salt Lake City, Utah to Barstow, California. You see, I have been down this route here before, have not hit these. Can't believe I have not been through Vegas yet. I think I'm liking the one above that. Although, let's check this one out before we make a decision. Yeah, seems like I've been on that route. So this one, the first part of my journey here, I haven't really seen any of this. I haven't seen Flagstaff, Campo Verde, Phoenix, have not been through Yuma, El Centro, or to San Diego. So this seems like the perfect run for us. Let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so Gallup, New Mexico to San Diego, California. Sounds good. This is not what I expected. For somehow I just saw in my mind, I envisioned a sunny day, and it is raining, and it is nighttime. So it's going to be maybe not the prettiest run, but it is a long one, so we'll certainly be driving during some daylight. Let's take a look at this rig from the outside. So this is what a scraper looks like. What I envision is one of those trucks that scrapes the top layer of pavement off of a road and gets to the hard surface beneath, so that when you are repaving it, it would pay to scrape off that top, so you get a nice clear adhering of the concrete to the layer below. That's a really cool looking Volvo. I can't say I've driven this exact truck before, but I am pretty excited about the horsepower. Let's take one more look at that truck. It's a VNL 6x4 780 is the model, 600 horsepower, 2,000 pounds of foot torque, and a 220 gallon tank. It's a nice looking truck. Alright, so with any luck, my keys are still where they should. Alright, I am back. Let's give this another try. I have to say that is extremely annoying. Probably has more to do with my wheel. It seems like the stuff I'm mapping to my keyboard is totally fine, but it's the stuff that I'm mapping to my wheel that is not maintaining. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. That's really the odd part about it. You can see they didn't give me enough gas here, so I'm definitely going to have to get some gas. And I went ahead and put these windows down so I can see outside with my mirrors. Alright, let's pull this puppy around. Just want to get aware of how long this trailer is. It's a pretty long one. Those wipers on. I believe this is where I did my last drop-off, if I remember correctly. Alright, we're on our way. So this Volvo has a really nice cab. I do like the interior of it. I do like the mirrors. Let's take a quick glance in the back there. Oh yeah, we have a table we can sit on. There's a car coming, I better pay attention. Didn't think anybody would be driving back here, but there it is. It's got a table in the back. I bet you that folds down, so that turns into a bed. Or maybe that top part of that folds down where that strap is, and that's what makes a loft bed. I bet you that's what it is. Try to think about what this would be like in real life, but the windows, a lot of natural light, looks like a lot of room back there. It's a pretty nice rig. I'll definitely put it on my radar. You know, Volvo, it's a truck you can believe in. You see how hard it makes it with those windows to see. Sometimes I like to roll them down, but for now I'm going to keep them up so that I can talk and you can hear me. It's always a fine line between the way I do the sound on these videos. I definitely want to make sure you hear my voice loud and clear, but I also want to make sure that you hear the engine. And to do that, I need to turn it up. But then when I turn it up and I have the windows open, then it's a whole different story. Alright, so we're moving at a gallop here. And we'll be going in mostly a westerly to southwesterly direction. Alright, looks like it might be clearing up a little bit, just as the sun is going down. It does get difficult sometimes with the rain at nighttime. I think I could probably turn my wipers off. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, I think we're pretty much stopped here. Then a quick right here. Heading towards Flagstaff. So when you think of New Mexico and you think of Arizona, you don't always think of rain, but it does rain in these places, just not as much. As a matter of fact, when a lot of people moved out west in the late 1800s, they were going through one of their wettest centuries on record, and that was an anomaly of a century with how wet it was. And now that this is at least according to scientists, now that we're in more of a normal century, we're realizing, you know, rainfall wise, we're realizing that there really is barely enough water out there to support all the people that currently live in, you know, places like LA and places like Phoenix with all their golf courses that need a lot of water. So that should be interesting to keep an eye on the next, 20 years or so, to see if that situation improves at all. I understand some of their reservoirs that feed those areas are down below 50% capacity right now. It's it's just part of the human experiment. Do too many people live in the Southwest and in California that the water can't support that? We shall see. It's possible in our lifetimes we see a exodus of people out of the Southwest and back into regions where there's enough water to support those populations. Beautiful sky ahead. Love the purples and the blacks and the blues. Looks like storm clouds. I wonder whether we're heading right into a storm. It's possible. Beautiful sunset off to our right there. Thank you very much. I think I will continue on my way. Love the speed limit of 75 on this road. This Volvo's making short work of this heavy trailer behind me. No problem keeping up speed. I know we're flat here, but still a great job. And horsepower, I mean, just does make a difference. It really does. You get 500 horsepower with these heavy loads like this. See, that extra 100 horsepower is sorely missed, I've noticed. So when I do buy a truck myself, you can bet it's going to be over 600 horsepower. You know, maybe with the ability to upgrade that truck to a even higher horsepower. I'm not sure how high you can upgrade them. I just have to take a look at that as time goes on. This is definitely a good truck. The visibility is incredible. I mean, just look at all the windows, big windows on this thing, big mirrors. Getting a little squirrely looking around. Plus I'm going 85. It's not helping. Probably should slow her down a little bit. No worries, State Farm, though, says. They're telling me not to worry. Maybe I should keep it up to 85 plus. If I crash, no worries. We'll fix it. I always think back to that State Farm commercial with Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes on it. And my son and I, we play Madden pretty often. We can't help but saying Mahomes and Auto. There's something about it. It's just funny. So whenever we see him, we just call him hey, let's check out some football. Mahomes and Auto is on. It's just funny. It's funny to us anyhow. We think it's hilarious. All right. It quickly got to night here. You can see I am cruising right now. I'm going to be all right with that. Some of the runs we've done have been very long. It's been leading to some very, very long videos. And I do apologize for that if long videos are not your thing. But I see no problem with cruising here and breaking the speed limit a bit so I can get from point A to point B a little quicker. As long as I'm not being reckless, I'm not going to have a problem with it. And anybody can play this game the way they want to play it. If you want to obey all the speed limits and put tickets and crashing and those type of violations back on, go for it. If you want to put the rest fatigue feature on, go for it. But I don't like either of those, really. I prefer them off. That's just me. You do you. I'll do me. And if we all approach video games that way, I think we'd all just get along a little better. It's okay. Everybody wants a different experience. Gallo Winery. It's E and J, isn't it? Ernest and Julio Gallo. That must be a pretty sweet deal, being born into a wine business. And by the way, we're rich and we have all these wineries around the world, and you've inherited that. Thanks, Dad. Or Mom. Could be a mom. I'm always secretly envious of those people who are born into more favorable circumstances like that, but we all make our way. Reduce speed ahead. Okay, I should probably slow it down because I am going way too fast to begin with. See, it's going down to 65, so I'll try and keep it somewhere around this speed. West 40 to Los Angeles. I have not been on this road myself in real life. I have been outside of Los Angeles to Palm Springs, so it's possible we pass Palm Springs on the way to LA. Well, we're not actually going to LA. We're going to San Diego, aren't we? A bit of a tight turn here. Oh shoot, I was supposed to get off that exit, wasn't I? See, that's the hard part about looking at this tiny little thing. You see when I pull that up how much more you can see? It's just enough, like, that's a tough exit coming off a turn like that because I'm concentrating on turning and I'm not really concentrating on, you know, my GPS at that moment. But it doesn't really reveal itself to you until you're coming out of that turn, so it's really tricky. You have to do these little quick glances over to your GPS at all times, but you know, I'm trying to do it now. You see how it made my turn a little less smooth? Alright, well, we'll see how this affects our route. Hopefully it doesn't deviate it too much, because I did like the fact that we're going to be seeing some new towns and such. Just past this bus. Still on Route 40. I'm tempted to look at the map. Excuse me. Even on this windy type of highway, we are at 75. Okay, so let's see what that did there. I don't know that that changed stuff that much. So, yeah, I think I was actually supposed to turn here and get on that. So it really didn't change too much. We're just getting on 17 a little later. I'm just going to see if there's a discoverable here real quick. I might want to hit that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to come this way, and then we're going to go around the block, and we're going to get back on the highway. I like to check out at least one discoverable, a map. I don't want to get too crazy with it. You see how I could get off here and check that out too, but it shouldn't take too long to get off there. And we're going to do it. Because I got to think ahead. You know, I have to think to the point where I'm hiring people, and that could be a hiring agency. It could be a truck dealership, and I don't believe I've discovered. I might have discovered them all. I know I've done a Mack. I know I've found a Volvo. I know I've found an International, and I know I've found a Peterbilt, and that leaves Kenworth. I think I probably found one of those, but hopefully it's a. It's just a. So this wants me to come back, doesn't it? Did I miss a turn again? Man, if I missed a turn again, I'm a bonehead. Absolute bonehead. Let's see. Did I miss it again? I missed it again. Look at me. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, I could come down this way, but that seems to be adding a lot to my drive, but I'm going to do it because you know what? I just think turning around seems silly right now. So I'm going to do it. And you know, when you think about real life, I mean, guys would have to, you know, you make a mistake or there's road construction or whatever's going on, like you really have to, you know, deviate from your original plan, and you'd have to say, you know, this road's closed, there's a bad accident, I'm going to need to take a different road here. And, you know, it's all part of the job. So, immersion-wise, I'm just gonna say this feels pretty realistic to have to do that. Haha, maybe I'm tired and maybe I'm a bonehead. You know, choose your scenario, but I will say I am tired, but it is the morning, so I do have a big thing of caffeine as well, so it should be fine. No excuses. I think if I was just driving and not talking, I would definitely not miss as many turns. But hey, it's part of doing YouTube videos, right? Is the dialogue. So I just completely I am going so fast right here. It's almost reckless fast. Let me slow it down a little bit. I promised I wouldn't be reckless, and I'm not going to be reckless. Get off to the right here too. Oh doggy. That was just a little reckless. Not completely reckless though. Can't say I was out of control or not being able to guide my vehicle where I wanted it to go. I didn't need to look in the right mirror there because I knew that I was well past that traffic. You just have to trust yourself like that. Alright. Under the bridge. Up the hill. And Route 93 south. This should be fun. It looks a little windy. Looks a little more rural. Speed limit is 65 though. Wickenburg and Phoenix. Wickenburg and Phoenix. Beautiful night out. It's almost always a full moon out, I've noticed in this game. My guess would be they do that for illumination purposes. Man, this Volvo hauls. Look, I have to keep thinking about how fast I'm going because it's just chewing this trailer up, man. As far as being able to haul it. Even up hills, it's doing great. I mean, this is a definite contender for my first rig, the Volvo. I like it. It's got a pretty nice layout for the stuff. I love the huge windshield. And look, you can't even see the hood. That's not blocking your view at all. And that cab behind me is sweet. I just see myself sitting at that table. I like that, you know, that there's a little spot where you can sit back there and, you know, have some lunch or, you know, just have a morning coffee. And then you can pull the bed down when you need it. It's not just this mattress sitting behind you, it's actually tucked away. We are running out of fuel. Oh boy. Wish I had paid attention to that earlier. Let's look on the map because we're not in an extremely populated area right here. Looks like we have gas coming up right here. Gotta make sure I hit that. Alright, so that's coming up shortly. So when we have that sharp left turn and we turn on to 60, we know it's going to be right there. So thank you for the reminder. We appreciate it. Can't believe these boneheads didn't give me like anywhere close to the amount of gas that I need. It's not cool. Yavapai? I couldn't really read that. Yavapai County. Nothing out here. Getting the left because These guys are slow and, well, slower than my maniacal speed. And I'm gonna have to make a left up here anyhow. I tell you what though, if I was on this kind of secluded road like this with not a lot of traffic on it, you bet I'd be speeding. Right lane ends. Reduce speed ahead. Alright, things are really slowing down here. I'm tapping these brakes. Hear that engine downshift. Speed up a little bit. Maricopa County line. Entering Wickenburg. So this is kind of a loop here. Yeah, it's a one-way. It's a traffic circle. Of course, I want to stay a little wide on this for trailer's sake. See that trailer trailing? If I was tight and fully in my lane, I'd be dragging that thing over the curb. Let's get to the left here. The Hassayampa River. Say that 5 times quick. Hassayampa, Hassayampa, Hassayampa. That's easier than I thought. Alright, let's take her nice and slow in here. I don't want to get caught up on this sign. So you gotta be careful of those signs right there. That big sign that's kind of closest to us on the curb there. It's pretty easy to drag a trailer over those. See, I'm kind of on a curb here. I'm gonna go in this middle one. That'll be easier to get the trailer out. Give myself enough time for that trailer to get behind me. So you still have to kind of stay left here though. Make sure that trailer has room to kind of get straight. Alright, so let's stop the engine, refuel. Oh, I did stop the engine. That was really weird. What's happening? Okay, so E. See, I can't hit A on that because A restarts the engine. I'm so confused by that. You guys may have seen my last video where I had to remap some keys because one of the keys, when you hold it down, is actually mapped to restart the engine. I might as well just fill her up. I'm going to get reimbursed. $491 in gas. I think you have problems with gas bills. Although with COVID and everything, stuff has been pretty low. Okay, let's see. Current job. Alright. Let's make sure. Looks like we have enough clearance on our trailer here. It's cool how it's echoey in here. You hear how it echoes on the engine? It's nice that they are paying attention to stuff like that. Just the little details that make the immersion that much greater. Alright, so it looks like we're definitely clear on our left. It's hard to see on our right, but it looks like we're pretty clear, so we're going to go ahead and move on out. No problems with the trailer back there, nothing to hit. And we are on our way. So we are on this new route, 60 something. 60. Yep, 60. 60. We're going east briefly because we did that big roundabout thing. It's making us come back east. And I don't know that we're getting on 17 at all. There was that Route 17. I just don't remember if we're actually getting back on that. We'll see. You see how this thing's doing up the hill. I mean, I'm actively accelerating if you look at my speedometer going up this hill with this huge load. I haven't had to weigh it yet, but if I remember correctly, it's almost 120,000 pounds. Could be 88 something thousand pounds, but I can't remember. I mean, it makes sense that it was over 100,000 pounds because it's huge, that machine that I'm hauling. In case you don't have it, it's the I think it's called the Heavy Loads DLC. Definitely worth the money. You know, just look at how much more money I'm able to make. I mean, if you guys have been watching these videos, pretty much everything I've hauled has been this huge honking machine with serious weight on it. But it's also allowing me to get, you know, some good money for these hauls. I mean, this is a $28,000 haul, so yeah, it's a 90,000 pound scraper. Big machine. So I'm guessing my weight, my total weight, is going to be about 135,000 pounds when I get a gross. We'll see how my estimate is. It could be a little less than that, maybe. Alright, so we're going to loop around to the right up here. South on 303. So this is cool. Like, I haven't been on these roads, so it's all new to me, so it's pretty exciting. And we are in the city limits of Phoenix. Phoenix, one of the largest, well, it is the largest city in Arizona. See, if you swing a ride like that, you don't even have to look at your trailer. I had plenty of movement there. See how this thing does up a hill and around a turn. Look at that! Look at that acceleration. It's actually really good. Alright, some police activity up ahead. Fortunately, there are no rubberneckers. Man, I have a bone to pick with rubberneckers. I hope you guys aren't rubberneckers. If you don't know what a rubberneck is, it's when you're driving on the highway on this side and the accident or the police activity is on the other side of the road. People slow way down, basically to look at it. And it affects traffic flow patterns in a crazy way. Now, if you've ever driven in busy traffic, like traffic heading into New York City, traffic in Connecticut on 95 or on the Merritt Parkway, rubbernecking is a serious thing that really affects traffic. It can actually cause accidents because I guess that's why they call it that. People are turning their necks in an awkward way to continue to gawk at whatever's happening. Now, first of all, when somebody's had a bad accident and they're getting taken away in a stretcher, I'm sure they don't want like 200 people slowing down to look at them. So just keep your speed, maintain your speed. Yes, slow down a little bit to be safe, right? But it's on the other side of the road. So just keep your speed up. Do a quick glance like that, another glance like that, and keep going. Right? There's no reason even to take your foot barely off the accelerator pedal. But people have to slow way down. They just have to gawk at it, and it drives me crazy, man. If you guys can tell, it's one of my pet peeves. So if you're a rubbernecker, don't do it. Don't do it. Alright, so if we took that, we'd go north towards Flagstaff. I think we actually missed Flagstaff, and we didn't discover Flagstaff because of the weird route we took, but that's okay. I'm going to be alright with that. It's okay. We'll discover it another day. And I believe I actually had... Is that where my pull-off was on the map? Let's see, I think that's where my pull-off was to get my discoverable. So since I missed... Oh, no. It's right up here. It's right up in Phoenix that I'm doing it. So I'm going to get off the highway here. I'm going to loop around the block. We're going to figure out what that is right there. And then we'll be on our way. So it's just going to take a minute, guys. Just going to take a minute. Or actually, like, in real life, probably 5 minutes. I don't love the way that wall is like graphically dancing in front of my face right now. That looks really weird and bad. The AA, man, the anti-aliasing, always a problem. Always a problem. But somebody had to go and build some houses back there or something. They needed. I actually looked at a house one time in Connecticut. I think we talked about this, just, you know, how expensive it is there. And it was right off a highway. It was a great house, but it had this gigantic wall that separated the neighborhood from the highway. And Phoenix discovered, nice. And it just felt wrong. I don't know, something about it. You could still hear it, but it kind of blocked it off. But I don't know. It just wasn't right to live that close to the highway and to have this huge, like, you look out your front door and there's like a huge wall right across the street. It was just wrong. So we said no. Yeah, we found a hiring agency here. Sweet. That's always helpful to get good talent. Yeah. I always call it a hiring agency. They call it a recruitment agency. Same difference. Look at that gigantic donut. How could you resist that thing? Oh man, that makes me think of a chocolate glazed. I don't know what kind of donuts you guys like, but the chocolate glazed is it's quite possibly the perfect donut. In my opinion, everybody's going to have their idea about what the perfect donut is, but for me it's the chocolate glazed. Now don't eat them very often, and one of the reasons I don't is probably shouldn't have pulled out there. Sorry about that. Thank you, officer, for stopping. But one of the reasons is there's no Dunkin' Donuts around where I live. It's really weird. I just don't understand why there's no Dunkin' Donuts. I just don't get it. They just are in some places, but not everywhere. But they really should be everywhere. It should be a state law, or there has to be one Dunkin' Donuts for every county in the United States or something. I don't know. And then the other thing is, you know, just general health. We shouldn't be eating donuts every day, so even if I did live near a Dunkin' Donuts, I'd probably go there maybe once a week. Grab that chocolate glazed. Whoa, dude. You got a stop sign there, bro. And I believe that's saying turn right, yeah. Yeah, it's not good for me to be eating that many donuts. And to each his own, but I'm not gonna eat that many donuts. Alright, we got good clearance there. Tucson and Los Angeles. Clear. Tucson, see you silent. It's kind of weird when I think about football, and most of the NFL teams are named after a city, but the Cardinals are not. And they were in St. Louis, and then I think did they go to Arizona, then back to St. Louis? I can't remember. But I thought it was in the 1980s, maybe late 1980s or early 1990s that they went there. But they didn't name themselves the Phoenix Cardinals. They're the Arizona Cardinals. can't think of another team that does that. Well, in basketball, I guess you have the Golden State Warriors, so Golden State wouldn't really be, right, a city. That's actually the name of the state. It's California's the Golden State. So that would be, an anomaly too. But pretty much every other sports team that I can think of is named after a city, but in Arizona, they said, no, this team belongs to all of Arizona. But they do play, I believe, in Phoenix. So correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, but that would make the most sense to me, considering you need population to, to sell tickets. Although this year in the NFL is going to be really fun. I don't know if you guys have seen some of what they're doing with baseball, but they're actually piping crowd noise into the stadium even though there's no crowd there, and it's kind of weird, but you kind of get it. And they're going to do that with the NFL too, although with the NFL they have discussed, like, let's say it's a 75,000 seat stadium, of selling 20,000 tickets or 16,000 tickets, and then having people just social distance and just sit every fifth seat or something. Just, kind of spread out. It should be interesting. I know golf has been weird. I've been watching the PGA Championship this weekend, and somebody hits an amazing shot and there's no sound. And it's kind of weird. It's pretty weird. And I am a New York Giants fan because I was born and raised in New York, and yeah, I like them even though they kind of stink right now. I'm not one of those fair weather fans who just roots for my team when they're doing well. And I'm not going to name any cities who used to do that. Or I might, but I'm not going to do it now. Who couldn't root for their team, and then all of a sudden they're doing good, now they're rooting for them. Whoa. My bad, dude. That guy came over the hill so fast there, I just couldn't see him. I appreciate you letting me in. I actually had the shoulder here that I could have used. But I thought I had it, and he just came so quick in that mirror, I just couldn't. I mean, at least I didn't hit him. I was able to slam on my brakes, otherwise there would have been a collision there. You did a good job. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Give him a little. I was trying to do the da 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 da. It's too sloppy. Let's try it with the other horn. It's difficult. Ooh, look at that helicopter hovering over there. Maybe a traffic copter? I mean, what time of the day is it? Yeah, I mean, that would make sense, right? News Team 4 on the, I don't know what highway I'm on Highway 75. Looks like traffic's moving clearly down out of Phoenix and towards Tucson. Back to you, Pat. That's pretty good, considering I didn't really get too much practice. When I used to work at ESPN, they had this cool thing where, let's just take a look on the map here. Probably should be talking about what I'm doing here, too. So I'm on Route 8, heading into Yuma. Let's see. Sometimes it just doesn't want to zoom in using the wheel. I have a discoverable there, but I'm not going to hit it. It's just a straight run on Route 8. So if I just nail the pedal, I should get there pretty quick. So let's keep up with that. Yeah, they had this career day thing where you could look at other careers in the company because, they want to encourage you to stay within the company if you're not happy in your position. So they had a whole set up like Sports Center, with the stuff in the back, and that's where I worked. I worked on the live end of things at ESPN, the graphics department. I did the graphics on live, TV shows like Sports Center. But anyhow, they had a thing where you could have the cameras on you and the lights and the desk, and you would have to be a sportscaster, so they would give you like this thing called a shot sheet. And a shot sheet, basically, when somebody edits a video together for a highlight, they put together a shot sheet. So at the 22-second mark, you know, LeBron James hits a three-pointer. At the 28-second mark, you know, somebody dunks the ball or whatever it is. So they give you the shot sheet. So you have to be aware that there's a camera on you. You have to be aware that video is rolling behind you. And then you have to read this script all with cameras and lights on you. And then they held it in the cafeteria. So, of course, people are just eating lunch, watching you be a moron. And it was the hardest thing in the world. I mean, I think I would be better at it now because I'm older and more mature and much more comfortable with public speaking. But it was pretty hard. It was pretty difficult with all that stuff going on. So I'm much more comfortable with being on the spot. Like I could be a newscaster out of a helicopter or something. And of course, as a teacher, I'm in front of people all day, like, you know, having to entertain them and stuff. But back then, that was a really hard thing to just jump into a scenario and be able to kind of pull it off, as they say. I've had an interesting life, and now I'm a truck driver. It's all good. And I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. I'm really enjoying doing them. Hopefully my subscriber base builds. And I get some people who enjoy my videos as much as I enjoy making them. And, you know, time will tell on that. You just never know. Either people like what I'm doing or they don't. And that's every person's decisions. And, you know, I respect that. But I do hope you like it. I really do. But in the end of the day, I just need to do it for me because I enjoy it. I really do. You know, my schedule is going to get a little more wonky because I am going back to work next week. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to post every day. But I'll try. I hope to get at least 3 to 4 done a week. That's pretty. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good clip. Another newscopter. This is Newscopter 5 with news from Highway 8. Looks like we have some bustle in the downtown leading into Tucson. We have a 2-car accident on Route 34 heading off of Route 8, slowing things down a little bit in the off lanes. Back to you, Pat. Not too bad. Could have done a little better, but I don't actually have information to work with. I'm just making it up as I go, so. Yuma and Quartz site. That's cool. They must have a quartz site here. Quartz is always a cool rock as far as rocks go. I've always liked quartz. Something about it. Alright, see how many more miles. 132 more miles, not far to go. You see, this video is hopefully going to be under an hour. That would be my goal, considering the other ones have been ridiculously. But do you see what happens when I drive fast, people? These videos go faster, so I am definitely going to speed a little more on these. Although it seems reckless, it does shorten the video considerably. Because when you're going 80 miles an hour versus 65 miles an hour, it's a difference. Nice airstream. Can't miss those. iconic American relic woven into the fabric of American camping and road travel. I think that one of the things that's cool about them is they're just, you know, the material they're made out of them, whoa, slam on the brakes there. And they don't have all these parts like sticking off of it. You know, I think that's why some of them are survived for so long too. It's like an airplane on the outside. So, I mean, what can go wrong? What could break off? As long as it doesn't rust out. But I believe they're, I don't know, they could be made from aluminum, but it's possible they're made out of steel. Like a stainless type of steel. What the heck is going on here? Let's see if I can get around here. It seems like the right lane is what's the problem. Yeah, it's definitely a right lane issue here. Just get around this. You guys, you could sit there all day, or you could just bang a left. Yeah, looks like we had a little bit of a collision here. Large Mack truck meets small SUV. It's never a good thing. Safety belt law enforced. I do not have my safety belt on. But in real life, I always put that thing on. Save your life someday. If you've ever been in an accident where a vehicle rolls, and I wasn't driving, but I was, and you don't have your seatbelt on, you'll put it on from that point forward, trust me. Much better to be suspended upside down than you are to be rolling around a vehicle that overturns. So always put that seatbelt on. Let's see. Hynix Santos, The Truth, Elvis. I have not taken a good screening yet, so I'm going to do that right before I dump this thing off, so I know you can't remind me, but I'm going to remember to do that. I guess I could turn my headlights off. It's bright enough to need sunglasses out here. Probably some good sunscreen. A 50, no doubt. Man, it is super bright. I can't remember it being this bright too many times in this game. I almost feel myself squinting in real life. Although everything around me is dark. You know, because I like it dark when I'm gaming. And then I have this bright screen that's just making me squint. But I do have a little sensitivity to bright lights, so don't like them. Exterior review real quick. El Centro. Oh, better slow down here. Can't put my brakes on in that mode for some reason. El Centro. Getting close, 73 miles. We're not getting off. This highway's just splitting, as they sometimes do. 5-0. I'm going way over the speed limit. If that was, if I had tickets turned on, I would have gotten nailed right there. Nailed, but I don't. I don't. It's so bright, it's hard to see these signs. 55. Wow, it's bright. I mean, it almost feels like something's wrong with my graphics settings, but it just has to be this extremely glary day. Get a little tricky up here with these turns. Slow trucks, yep. It's hilly and it's turny. We have a glary day on I-8 with traffic moving pretty well up through the S-curves. We can expect some delays up at exit 64. So we have an overturned tractor-trailer truck. More on that later. Back to you, Pat. There we go. I'm cleaning that up. Getting a little better. It's kind of fertile here. You see, it's kind of a mix of desert and fertile lands. Closer to the highway here. I'm telling you, that's what's missing from this game is animals. Have you ever seen an animal? I've never seen one in this game. I've seen a mod where you can put a dog in your trailer, but in your cab, I'm sorry, but I've never seen an actual animal on this map, and it makes it a little weird, I think. I know it's not really about that, but how hard can it be to spawn some animals in? So if you're listening, devs, if you're watching, I don't think we've weighed this thing yet. Let's see if it wants me to do it. Probably. I mean, I haven't weighed it yet, so. Only passed one weigh station. Pull into the vehicle, weigh station, next, right. San Diego city limit. Population, blah blah blah. I couldn't read it. Too bright. Too fast. Alright, see what this thing weighs. What'd I say? Maybe 135,000 pounds? Might be a little less than that. It might be like more like 125. Let's see. Didn't I stop it? There we go. Oh, I was really close. 133,000 pounds. I was so close. So if this thing weighs 90,000 pounds, then that means that the rig itself is 43,000 pounds. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Okay, I do need to get over, people. I know putting on my signal is not going to change anything, but I really have to scooch on over here. It's funny, I put on my signal for my own reasons because, you know, in real life you put your signal on, right? But in game, the AI, they don't recognize the signal. I don't think. Nothing tells me that they recognize the signal. If you're about to pull out in front of them, they sometimes slam on their brakes, but other than that, they don't recognize that my signal's on and that means something. They're not that smart. Not that smart. Looks like I'm getting off to the right here. Yep. That cement mixer's coming off there hot. Slow down, Parnelli. San Diego discovered. Okay, we get a real test of this thing up the hill here. See, it does pretty good grinding through those gears, man, with this heavy load. It's like, it's doing it. It's eager. Whoa, dude. It's a pretty sharp stop there. Sometimes I hit the accelerator pedal and nothing happens. It's really weird. Alright. Yeah, like right now I'm flooring it. It's not doing anything. Maybe it's because I'm flooring it? I don't know. I don't know. Volvo Motors. Come on down to Volvo Motors, where we have cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, and boats. Come on down. Get your prices now. Used cars. It's a different place, though, isn't it? Get in the zone, auto zone. water stream there. From a distance, that looks like Hulk Hogan. Is that Hulk Hogan? Haha, nope. It's an old... Oh, it's that Old Spice guy. Well, from a distance. Cool bridge. Okay, we're making a right up here. Not far now. I do need to take my screen grab. This would be kind of a crappy one, but I have to remember to do that. That would be a disaster if I don't. An absolute disaster. Now you see, I want to take this wide. I want to do it. But with these cars coming, it's going to be tough. So hopefully they're clearing out now. It's a right. It's a red light. But I'm going for it. I'm not stopping. Well, here's some Peterbilt. Wonder if that's a discoverable. Look at this guy stopping for me, man. Look at that respect, man. You got it, buddy, man. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. Respect right back at you. Ooh, look at the skate park. That's cool. These guys are doing some tricks. Peterbilt truck dealer discovered. Nice. Now, if I haven't discovered a Peterbilt, I think I have, actually. Because I selected that. When you select that as your favorite truck when you first spawn in the game, it automatically spawns you a Peterbilt showroom. And I think I've hit them all, except for maybe Ken. I think I've hit them all. If I didn't, Kenworth would be the one I haven't hit yet. I know I've hit all the others. I've discovered multiple international ones, I know that. Definitely discovered Volvo. Alright. Okay, I know I'm pulling out in front of that guy, but sometimes you gotta take those gaps when you get them. Not far now. Okay, let me get a screen grab right now. I mean, if I forget, it's going to be a disaster. A disaster. Let me do it. Ooh, that looks really cool, actually. So let me come out a little farther. I mean, it actually has a pretty kind of cool... Maybe we'll just do a little turn to it to give it a little bit of drama. Do we like a turn better that way? Let me zoom in just a little bit. Looks good to me. Of course, I always have that oversized load banner on my truck because that's all I really do is oversized loads. See if this thing gives me anything more. Yep. See how it gives you a little bit more info to work with? And it's bigger, so it's easier to see, obviously. Alright, so we are going to be up over $320,000, which is exciting. It's getting us that much closer to our goal. Northland. Alright, here we go. Come on, accelerate, people. What's this guy doing? What the heck is this guy doing? You serious, dude? What are you doing? Oh, don't tell me this is one of these situations where I'm going to have to bash people out of the way because this AI dude refuses to go. You can see how well I'm locked in here. There's no way I could get out of here without bashing into somebody. Man, he better go on the next one. That's all I got to say. Otherwise, I'm going to start pushing people out of the way. We're going to get all medieval on those vehicles in front of us. Like a big battering ram taking down a castle walls. Oh yeah, we can go medieval. Gotta go medieval sometimes in this world. I want to get things done. Sometimes it's not all like, you know, talk is cheap sometimes. You get all medieval on people and, there we go. Now he goes. Get medieval on people, they get the message. It's okay, you just can't do it all the time. You just have to pick and choose your moments. Active fashion. Oh yeah, I'll be heading there, because I'm all about that. Although I never quite know how I'm dressed because I don't actively have a body. I just really like this rig, man. I tell you, this is a definite contender for me. I never thought I would get a Volvo rig, because to me it's so non-traditional. You know, like I'm a traditional type of guy like that. I like the Kenworths and the Peterbilts, and you know, they're classic Macs, ones I remember from my childhood. But this Volvo, man, it's pretty sweet. I like it. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this kind of wide here. Taking her wide, taking her wide. Taking her wide. Hopefully the people behind me get the memo that I need to take her wide. Alright. Let's try it. Let's see what it is. Oh, it wants it right here, doesn't it? It wants it right here. Okay, well, let's see if I can get this thing straight quick enough. Just need to jog as far left as I possibly can here. See if I have enough room to do that. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get her straight enough, quick enough. Yeah, they like it. If they like it, we like it. Yeah, good run. Excellent. 793, 14 and a half hours, 166 gallons of gas, tons of XP. I made it to a level 12. I'm a workhorse. I made 28,722. I'm going to be able to rank something up. Let's take a look. So, definitely I'm doing good on the long distance driving. I mean, fuel economy could be important, but you know, it really doesn't cost you that much. You know, I don't really feel the value in that yet. Plus 20% higher reward for delivering a fragile cargo. For high value cargo, plus 20% higher reward for a high value delivery. Oh yeah, we're going there, man. High value, man. You know, distance is cool, but I don't always want to drive super far. I just don't. So let's go ahead and do that. And see our progress. Over 8,000 miles. Almost 20% of roads explored. 17 deliveries. 8 total days in game time spent. So man, to be able to make that amount of money in 8 days, man, quitting my day job. Playing time, 14 hours and 38 minutes of my life I will never ever get back. Don't worry guys, I don't regret a moment of it. It's been enjoyable. And I have $322,000 in the bank. Feeling pretty good about that. I have a rating of a 3.3. So I'm definitely getting some rep out there. People are getting to know Scott A. Win and Win Limited with my cool tire kind of Mercury wings logo. So we're making a name for ourselves, and we haven't even done anything yet. We have not purchased a garage yet. We have not hired drivers yet. But oh, people are going to know. People are going to know about Win Limited. You wait and see. Alright guys, thanks for checking it out. Please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Have a great day.